I have escaped from my 20s. You can't just call me out of the blues. I need to check my calendar and tell you when I'm going to be available for you. Your body is going to change when you get to your 30s. It's not going to be what it used to be when you're 20s. In your 30s, you dare not spend all the money in your bank account. Are you kidding? You're going to have a lot of needs. Your taste is gonna go high. I'm currently in my 30s, and being in my 30s is wonderful. I like to say that over and over again because it really is. But over the course of being in my 30s, there are a lot of things that I've learned along the way. There are a lot of things that's going to change your mindset. There are a lot of things that you should look forward to. There are a lot of things that you should look out for. So I'm going to share with you what I have learned with being in my 30s, flirting and thriving. But before we go on, hi guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Judith, where I do a lot of vlogs and once in a while sit down videos like this one. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. The first thing I learned with being in my 30s is you're going to be unapologetic about your life. You're going to say no most of the time. And you're not going to feel bad about it. You're not going to feel sad about it because that's your current life. I remember when I got married, I think this developed much more in my late 20s. Having been married and giving birth to like 2 kids, there are a lot of things that I am unapologetic about. For example, oftentimes when I get invited out, maybe for like a hangout or whatever, I just say no. Not because I don't want to hang out with them or anything, but because that free time that I have, I'd rather use it to sleep. Because there are a lot of times that you're going to be stressed, especially for people that are married in their 30s and they have kids. There are times where you just need peace to yourself, and you'd have to please yourself and people within your home before you begin to please other people. So with that, expect a lot of people to say, oh, she's not nice. I'm not nice. Thank you very much. Well, you know you're a nice person, but you don't just have time. No matter how much you try to explain to people, people are not just gonna get you. They're just gonna feel like you're making up excuses, and that's gonna be totally fine by you. You're not going to even feel guilty. You can be selfish about a lot of things that has to do with you. And trust me, it's gonna make a lot of people unhappy, uncomfortable, and that's okay. You know, people will be used to the version that they once knew of you. Now, you cannot compare your 30 years old self with someone that used to be in the university and now out of the university. Being in your 30s, you would have grown so much that you have to choose you over and over and over again. I know growing up, we were taught by our parents that we need to like choose other people, you know, forget yourself first, take care of this one, take care of the household, take care of your parents, take care of your siblings. And even when you start dating, you have to take care of your partner. You get kids, you have to take care of your kids. Being in your 30s, you'd want some for yourself too. You want to take care of yourself too. You want to give yourself that space, that happiness, that freedom to do whatever it is you want to do. And it's going to displease a whole lot of people. And you're going to hear comments like, what is she feeling like? Is it because she got married? Is it because she has kids? Is it because she has money now? Is it because it's just going to be a lot? And that's what? And that's okay. Because it's you in your 30s, not being wicked, but you just living your life, because life has changed now. You cannot compare the girl that used to go to the club almost every night when she was in her 20s. She grew into her 30s, and now she doesn't fancy going to the club anymore. Her friends call her out to go to the club and she's like, maybe not today. And she gives that excuse like 6 times. And then they feel like, oh, it's because she has a rich boyfriend now. Oh, it's because she's this. Why does she think she's better than us? No, you've just grown so much. Your mindset has changed. The things you used to like before, you no longer like that. Being in your 30s just hit so different that it sometimes hurts, but it's so good for the body. I remember when I was in my 20s, I didn't like hurting people. Like, I was always very, you know, careful with what I say, my kind of words and stuff like that. And well, at the end of the day, I still ended up hurting people because maybe they were just way too emotional, or they took me for granted. I don't know, but that's another story for another day. But in your 30s, you're just going to say what you want to say and say it well. That doesn't go to say that you should be mannerless, okay? Because there is a way you can use your words kindly and nicely to pass across your message. It doesn't have to be like violence all the time. You're just going to care less about what people have to say about you, because there are a lot of things that are going through your mind. And that brings me to the second point, which is responsibility. You're going to have lots of responsibility. Now, this doesn't go to say that people in their 20s don't have responsibility. No, that's not true. People in their 20s, they have responsibility. I mean, some of them, not all. But if you're married in your 30s, you're going to have way more responsibility. You're going to be responsible for yourself. I mean, who wouldn't? You're going to be responsible for your family, for your kids, for your workers. You're not just going to be a young girl in her 20s doing whatever she likes, living life, and you know, maybe spending all the money in her bank account just to have fun. In your 30s, you dare not spend all the money in your bank account. Are you kidding? You have to save every last drop. Obviously, you're still going to enjoy yourself, find pleasure in life and all of that, but you're going to save much more, okay? You're going to want to invest in businesses, do lots of things that are just going to keep you financially stable over the long run. You're going to be responsible for some of your friends, and no, that doesn't mean that you're the mother or their father or someone to always give them money financially. Responsibility doesn't always come with finances. It can come with other things, like, you know, checking up on the person, being there for the person, making sure that the person is good, whether the person is sick or healthy or whatever. You just kind of find yourself being responsible for people. I don't know if this happens to a lot of people, but if you can relate, let me know in the comment section below, because sometimes I feel like I have to be responsible for some people in my life, and that's totally fine by me. I chose the life and I gotta do it. Another thing that I've learned with being in my 30s is you're going to want to stay at home more. And that doesn't mean that you're a boring person, you're not, but you just find pleasure in like being comfortable in your pajamas or just staying at home, especially for those that don't work a 9 to 5. I can only talk about people that don't work a 9 to 5 in the office, okay, because I work around the clock. I don't really do a 9 to 5, I work around the clock. You're just gonna want to stay home more often. Home is going to always be better. Food will be cheaper at home. TV will be much more bigger. If a new movie comes out, you find yourself not wanting to rush to the cinema where it's like crowded and everything. You just want to watch it in the comfort of your home. Being at home is just so much relaxing, so much peaceful, you know, than the busyness of the outside, the hustle of outside, the struggle of being out, you know, the noisy outside. I just find peace and comfort being at home. So you're going to want to stay home more often when you get to your 30s, and that is not you being boring, because you can have fun when you want to, but everything just takes, you know, time and plan. Now, another thing that I've learned while in my 30s, which I've always, you know, implied in my life, or it got, will I say worse, or I did it more when I got to my 30s, is your time is of the essence. You're going to want to plan yourself. You're going to want to plan your life. When I wake up in the morning, I already have a schedule of what I want to do for that day. I don't know if everybody has that, but I do. Because once I miss a moment, everything just crumbles, okay? I plan that I'm going to wake up, probably tend to the kids, probably make breakfast. If I'm not going to make breakfast that day, I have to plan what they're going to eat, okay? I don't know if that makes sense. I have to plan because I am responsible of what my household is going to eat for the day. And like I earlier said, I mentioned responsibility for other people, and now I have to plan what's for lunch. I have to plan the time when I have to work in any of my businesses. I have to plan to work at a time when my kids take their nap. Why? Because I work from home, so home is where my office is, and it would not make sense if I'm doing this video and my kids are screaming in the background. Right now they're asleep. I plan that when they take their siesta, which is like usually 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Yeah, that's when I'm going to do a sit down video. And guess what? It's working because I'm sitting here talking to you guys and you guys are not hearing baby voices. So everything comes with plans in your life. Now you find out that nobody can just call you up and tell you, hey, where are you? Oh, I'm at home. Fine. Okay, cool. Let's go out. I'm like, how? I mean, I didn't plan to go out. Even if you're not doing anything, you'll just find yourself saying, should have told me, I would have planned better. Oh, don't worry, another day. Except those people that are just like, they go with the moment, they go with the flow and everything. But people like me, you can't just call me out of the blues. I need to check my calendar and tell you when I'm going to be available for you. It just happens. It's like in your 30s. In your 30s, you're never going to make everyone happy and you're not going to be bothered about it. So stop trying and just move on, because they would have moved on too. How others feel about you has nothing to do with you, okay? That's just what they're thinking. That's in their head. It's not you. You know you're a better person, so care less about what people think about you and just do you. They're going to live on regardless, and so are you. In your 30s, you're going to want to be financially stable. That's why I always keep saying 20s are like your building era, okay? The path you want to walk down, you start finding out in your 20s. You're going to have a lot of needs. Your taste is going to go high. Your wants are going to be a lot, okay? So you're going to want to be financially stable. You're going to want to go into various businesses to keep that generation wealth, to keep the money flowing. You're going to be so open-minded to new businesses. You're going to want to try to work harder just so that you can get enough money to live up to the standard that you want in your life. Whether you have a man or not, you're always going to want to make your own money. In my 30s, I have learned that you have to be more intentional about taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, because most people believe that in their 30s, their joints are weak, their knees are weak. Do you want to be weak all your life? I love to see old women and men that are still agile. They go for every party, they're walking well. Some old people are not even using glasses, and not because they cannot afford it, but because they can still see quite okay. I like to be that old person when I get to that age. So you have to know that health is wealth, okay? You have to be more intentional about taking care of your body. You have to exercise more, because your body is going to change when you get to your 30s. It's not going to be what it used to be when you're 20s. In your 20s, food was digested fast. Your metabolism was fast. In your 30s, it's going to decrease. So it's up to you to make sure that you work towards having a great body, a great health. It's not going to be easy. Your abs are not just going to appear overnight. You have to work harder and be patient with your body. You have to trust your body. You have to give your body time in your 30s. For people that are in their late 20s, their early 30s, or their late 30s that don't have their life figured out, I want to assure you that it's okay. You're not alone. We're a lot over here. So you have us to take along with you in the ride. Not everyone has their life figured out. Even a 50-year-old person don't have their life figured out. You have like 70 more years to do what you want to do. So it's going to take time, and there is plenty of time. You don't have to be married for you to figure out your life. You can still be a single young girl and slowly find your path in life, okay? You don't have to have everything all figured out. We're still learning, we're still trying, we're still making mistakes and finding things that work and things that don't work. So you're not alone. So that's it basically. I do hope you enjoyed watching this video, because I really did enjoy filming it. It just took me back to how young I used to be, how loving, how graceful my body used to be, my mindset and everything. I really did enjoy my 20s, but I'm so excited for my 30s. You can't even begin to imagine the things that I have planned for my life, myself, my mentality. Everything has changed. I am much more a better person than I used to be before, and I love being me here. At the time in my life, I asked myself, why was I not like this sooner, you know? But as the saying goes, there's always a time and season for everything. And I think this is my season of being in my 30s, 30, thriving. I really love it here. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed filming it. Now, do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, besties.